Thank you. I appreciate you being here on this gorgeous day in a magnificent setting. To think about all the lives that were lost here. Please all have a seat.
President, how are you doing? Good afternoon.
By the way, I used to be this tall. On July 4th, 1863, American woke to the remains of...
You know, when you fly into Atlanta, you go to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, the world's busiest airport. That's right, the world's busiest and most efficient. Well, right now, we are expanding Concourse D, thanks to the bipartisan infrastructure law that you put in place. And this thing here enables us to build it a mile away and then transport it in with millimeter-like precision. It's called a SPMT, which is a self-propelled modular transport unit. So a big section of an airport is built off-site, and we roll it in here overnight. And that way we can keep people working, keep the airport flowing, and still be able to expand this concourse. Oh.
Well, you know, it is the biggest airport in the world.
Yeah, so we're being innovative. And I'm an engineer, so I love this kind of thing where we can build this as it's already there. So it's already in place. And so now as we build it, we don't disrupt the operations of the world's busiest airport. That would have meant loss of jobs. It would have meant flights could have to be canceled. Now we're expanding the airport, expanding gates while it's still in motion. We couldn't have gotten that done without this bipartisan infrastructure law.
Mayors are the most critical piece of expansion, and you know, it's all about investing in hope. It's about hope.
That's right.
Every new enterprise, and the idea that you continue to expand, continue to modernize, continue to speed up transportation is really important.
You know, we thank you, the mayors. We're all talking about thanking you and your administration.
In our hearts, we draw on them when we seek hope in hours of darkness. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Here, on this sacred ground, Abraham Lincoln reimagined America itself. Here, a President of the United States spoke of the price of division and the meaning of sacrifice. He believed in the rescue, redemption, and rededication of the Union. All this in a time not just of ferocious division, but
Top
of
10.
widespread death.
Magic moments of President Biden delivers remarks on investing in America and the bipartisan infrastructure law.
And he taught us this.
1. Bringing work opportunity and hope to the people and communities all across this country. 2. Record of 16 million new business applications. 3. The economy of the United States grew by 3.1% last year. 4. Growth ended accelerating in 2023, folks. Look. 5. The lowest inflation rate of any major economy in the world. 6. You've already invested $6.1 billion in Wisconsin so far, $5.7 billion in Minnesota. 7. $1 billion from the bipartisan infrastructure I will be used to build this new bridges. 8. 10,000 new construction jobs. Union jobs are going to be traded. Minnesota. We're investing $2.5 billion in high-speed internet. 10. Investing $1.1 billion in your state to provide clean water and replace poisonous lead pipes.
We also just learned that America filed 16 million new business applications since I became president. That's a record. And just today we learned the economy of the United States grew by 3.1% last year. Well, thanks to the American people, America now has the strongest growth, the lowest inflation rate of any major economy in the world. It's because of you. The most sweeping investment to rebuild America in American history. You've already invested $6.1 billion in Wisconsin so far. $5.7 billion in Minnesota.
Distinguished guests, please welcome owner of Earth Rider Brewery, Tim Nelson.
Wow, kids! Well, that's exciting. That's exciting. Welcome, Earth Riders. I am Tim Nelson, founder and owner and manager of Earth Rider Brewery, and it's great to be here. We're on the Duluth-Superior Harbor at the base of the BLANDINE Bridge.
For everyone.
I'm a fourth-generation Twin Ports resident. I deeply understand the importance of the bridge. It connects Duluth Superior community physically, financially, and spiritually, I think. My great-grandparents immigrated from Scandinavia to Superior in the 1800s. Great-grandpa Nikolai Nelson built a bakery about 2 blocks south of here, and my grandma remembered having to row across the bay when she was a teenager. So I founded Earth Rider Brewery at the nexus of the Twin Ports in Superior, Wisconsin's North End neighborhood for a reason. Our brewing draws inspiration from Lake Superior and the people working on the ships, trains, trucks, and grain elevators right in our backyard.
Give life and vibrancy to our democracy.
Many of our staff, suppliers, and customers live and work on either side of the St. Louis River Bay, so we commute daily across the High Bridge. Simply put, the bridge is critical to my business. The rebuilding of the bridge will be critical to my business's growth and the growth of the local economy. That matters to the people here. It matters to our future. I'm grateful to our elected federal and state officials, President Biden, and for the bipartisan infrastructure law, and that's going to rebuild BLANDINE. It's a big deal. It's a huge deal for us. So please join me in welcoming the President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Thank you. Heard across Europe.
Have a seat, take it.
It was hate on the march.
Hello, Wisconsin.
In the open.
Across the bay. Hello, Minnesota.
Hate never goes away.
Tim, thank you for the introduction. I got to meet his twins and his wife.
When it's given an opportunity to spread. When it's treated as normal and acceptable behavior.
Look, I'm honored to be with
the
the
door
two
in this
best governors
country
in America.
that we must move quickly.
Governor of Wisconsin, Tony Evers. Tony, stand up.
That's just what I would do.
And also the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz.
Message to the entire nation. There is no.
And thanks to the outstanding senators, Tammy Baldwin of Wisconsin. Tammy, go on.
Will be given no license.
And Amy Klobuchar and Tina Smith from the state of Minnesota.
Will be given no safe harbor. In recent weeks and months,
If I have all three
the country has been riled by
anything.
instances of excessive police force.
And two great mayors,
Heart-wrenching cases
Mayor
of
Payne
racial
of Superior,
injustice and
Wisconsin,
lives needlessly
and
insensitive.
Mayor Ryan of Duluth, Minnesota.
By
Stand up,
peaceful
guys.
protesters giving voice and calls for justice. By examples of violence and looting and burning that
Folks,
cannot
I'm
be
here today
tolerated.
to talk about something that doesn't get
I believe in law and order.
The progress
I've never
we're making
supported the
to
funding of the
invest
police,
in
but I
America
also
and
believe
American workers and American
injustice
products.
is real.
Invest in America. That's what we're doing.
It's a product of a history.
Bringing work, opportunity, and
that
hope
goes
to the
back
people and
400
communities all
years.
across this country.
The moment when
Just
black
last week,
men,
we
women,
saw
and
the biggest
children
jump in 30
first were
years
brought here in
and how
chains.
positive consumers are
I do
feeling
not
about the
believe
economy.
we have to choose
Things are
between
finally
law
beginning to
and
sink in.
order
We passed a lot of really good
and racial
legislation.
justice in America.
We knew it was going to take time for
We
it to
can't
begin to
have
take hold.
both.
But it's taken
This is a
hold now.
nation
It's
strong
turning the
enough
economy
to
around.
both honestly face
We also
systemic
just learned that
racism
America
and strong enough to provide
filed
safe streets
16
for our
million new
families and
business
small businesses
applications
that
since
too
I
often
became
bear the
president.
brunt
That's a
of
record.
this looting and burning.
That's a record.
We have no need for armed
The
police
reason
on
I'm
the
mentioning
American
it,
streets.
when someone files for
We
new
should have no
business,
tolerance
it's a
for extremist white
example of
supremacy
hope.
groups
So they
menacing our
believe it. They
communities.
believe that they can get something done.
If you say
And
we should
consequence.
trust
You know,
America's
and
law
Tim's business
enforcement
right here
authorities
is
to do
that
the
act of
job
hope as well.
as I
Started a
do,
while ago.
then let them do their
Just
job.
today, we learned the economy
Without
of the United
extremist
States grew
groups
by
acting as
3.1% last
vigilantes.
year.
You say we have no need to face
I I don't want to bore you with all the detail, but
You haven't opened your eyes
experts from the time I
to
got
the
elected
truth
were
in
insisting that
America.
the recession was just around the
There
corner.
have been powerful voices
Every month there was
for
going to
justice
be a
in recent
recession.
weeks and months.
Well, you know, we've
George
got really
Floyd's
strong
6-year-old
growth.
daughter,
Listen
who I
to this.
met
Here's
with,
this morning's
looked
headlines
at
from
me
the Wall
and
Street
said,
Journal and other
in her
papers.
small
Quote,
child's
U.S.
voice,
shatters
"Daddy
expectations.
changed
Second
the world."
headline, the U.S. economy boomed in
Also,
2023.
Jacob Blake's mother
Third,
was
U.S.
another
economy grew at
when she
a
said,
shocking pace.
"Violence didn't
I love
reflect
that
her
shocking
son,
pace, Pete.
and this nation needed
But my
healing."
favorites from the Wall Street Journal.
And Doc Rivers,
Quote, what recession?
basketball coach,
Growth ended
choking back
accelerating in
tears when he said,
2023.
"We're
Folks,
the ones
look.
getting killed. We're the ones getting shot."
And by the way,
We've been
the
hung.
economic growth is stronger
It's
than we
amazing
had
why we
during the
keep
Trump
loving this
administration.
country.
My
This country
predecessor
does
recently
not love us
said
back.
he was actually hoping for the
think about
economy to
that.
crash. His quote.
I think about what it takes
Hoping
for
for
a
the
black
economy to
person to love
crash.
America.
Can you believe it?
That is a deep
well, he
love
said
for
he's
this
hoping
country
because he hopes it happens soon
that has for
while I'm
far
still
too
president.
long
That's what he's
never
hoping
been
for.
recognized.
Well, thanks to the American people,
We
America
need an
now has the
America's
strongest
leadership that
growth,
seeks to
the
de-escalate
lowest
tensions,
inflation rate of any
open
major
lines
economy in the
between
world.
us. Put this together.
It's because of you. We obviously have more work to do, but we're making real progress, building an economy from the middle out
Paid
to
a
the
high
bottom
price
up
for
and not
allowing
the top
deep
down.
divisions in this
I was
country.
raised in a
Go
household
back
where
on
there were,
how
we
we
had 3
deal
bedroom,
with
no, it was a nice
coronavirus.
home, 3 bedroom split level home and a new development of 40 homes
210,000
in
Americans
suburbia
dead.
with four
numbers
kids
climbing.
and a grandpa living with us.
It's estimated.
And but that trickle down economics didn't trickle down much on my dad's kitchen table.
Could lose their
Because
lives by the
when
end
we
of the year.
when we work from the middle
Enough.
out and the bottom up,
No
the poor have
more.
a shot, the middle class does
Let's
really
just
well,
set
and
partisanship
the wealthy
aside.
still do well.
Let's end the politics
everybody
and
gets a
follow
shot.
the science.
We all do well.
Wearing a
You know,
mask.
as the Secretary of Treasury,
Wearing a mask is
Janet
not a
Yellen,
political statement.
just said today, and
It's
I
a
quote,
scientific
the
recommendation.
story of the middle class is not separate
Social
from the
distancing
state of the
isn't a
economy.
political statement.
It's at the heart of it.
It's a
You know what I'm
scientific
saying? I mean, workers
recommendation.
across industries and
Testing,
occupations, from
tracing,
firefighters to nurses,
the
to
development,
factory workers.
and all
That's the
approval
middle
and
class.
distribution of a
At least
vaccine
that's where I come
isn't a
from.
political
That's what
statement.
it's all about.
It is a
So I'm here to announce more
science-based
progress that
decision.
shows that we can get
We
big
can't
things
undo
done
what
in
has been
America. We
done.
start believing in
We can't
ourselves
go back.
again.
We can do
We start
so
investing
much
in America
better.
again. Folks, look,
We can do
our
better
infrastructure
starting
used to be
today.
the best in the world,
We can have a national
rated the best
strategy
in the world.
that
But
puts
over a
politics
period of time, we
aside and
stopped
saves
investing in
lives.
America.
We can have
We
a
stopped
national
it.
strategy that will
We
make
stopped
it
investing in
possible
ourselves.
for our schools
And we
and
slipped,
businesses
we're now
to
ranked the
open safely.
13th best
We can have
infrastructure.
a
in the
national
world.
strategy
The United
that
States of
reflects
America,
the
number
true
13 in the
values
world.
of this nation.
How in God's name can we have the
This
strongest
pandemic is
economy in the
not a
world?
red
We
state
don't
or
have the
blue
strongest
state
and
issue.
best infrastructure in the world.
This virus doesn't
It's
care
not
where
possible.
you live,
So
where you
we're
live,
determined
what political party you
to turn that
belong.
around. We were determined to turn that around in a
It
big
affects
way.
us all.
And that's
It'll
exactly,
take anyone's life. It's a virus. It's not a political weapon.
and that's actually what we're doing.
There's
2 years
another
ago, I
enduring
came to
division in
Wisconsin.
America
This is
that we
almost
must
this
end.
very spot to talk about the historic
Division in our
bipartisan
economic life.
infrastructure law that I signed with
Gives
the support of
opportunity
your elected
only to the
officials.
privileged few.
The most sweeping investment
America
to
has to be
rebuild
about
America
mobility.
in American history.
It has to
We've
be
already
the
invested
kind of country
$6.1
where an
billion
Abraham Lincoln,
in
a
Wisconsin
child
so
of the
far.
distant frontier,
5.7
can
billion.
rise to the highest office in the world.
5.7 billion in
America
Minnesota.
has to be about possibility.
2 years later, I
Possibility
came
and
back to the
prosperity.
Black Duke Bridge. I was here 2 years
Not
ago.
just for the privileged.
The last
for the
time I was
many.
here, I came
All
with
of us.
Tammy, and we're now back this
Working
time
people
because
and
we
their
know
kids deserve
we
an
knew this bridge
opportunity.
needed a lot of work.
Lincoln knew this.
Tammy didn't let
He said
me
that the
forget
country
that
had to
either.
give people like them an open field.
You know, that
and a
bridge
fair
opened in
chance.
1961,
Open field
and
a
it
fair
connects
chance.
Minnesota, Wisconsin, you know better than
That's what we're
anyone in
going
the
to
world,
do.
and
in
over the
America,
Lewis
we're going
Bay.
to build together.
It's a vital link in our nation's economy.
We fought a civil war.
Every year,
secure a union that
950,000
would seek to
trucks
fulfill
use the bridge to carry
the promise of
3.4 billion tons of
by
goods
fits and starts.
all the way across
Our
America
better
and into
angels
Canada.
have prevailed again.
Folks,
Just
every
enough
day,
just
33,000
enough against our
vehicles
worst
cross that
impulses
bridge.
to make
The
a
flow
new
of people is
and
so
better
critical
nation.
to small businesses that rely on it,
And those
get
better
customers,
angels can
employers,
prevail
goods
again
to
now.
businesses. It's
They
critical.
must prevail again.
And local
now.
businesses like this brewery at the base of the bridge.
100 years
Think
after
what Tim
Lincoln
just
spoke
told
at
you.
Gettysburg,
Tim's family's been here for
Vice
4
President
generations.
Lyndon B. Johnson
His great-grandparents
also came
moved here from
and said
Scandinavia to build a bakery just
that
4
our
blocks from
nation
here. And as Tim just said, the bridge is critical to his business, his workers, his customers, and the entire local economy. And it's like that in other parts of the country as well. This bridge is also critical to the largest port on the Great Lakes, serving critical industries like forestry, agriculture, clean energy, supporting so many communities. I mean, it really is consequential. But you also know this bridge is in badly corroded condition. It's unsafe for trucks to carry oversized, overweight loads, causing drivers lengthy detours, increasing cost and delay. It's outdated in design. Tight curves have led to higher than average car accident rates, traffic congestion. For decades, people talked about replacing this bridge, but it never got done until today. Until today. I'm proud to announce $1 billion from the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law will be used to build this new bridge. A new bridge that will increase capacity for large trucks and oversized loads. A new bridge with a modern design, wider shoulders, smoother on and off ramps. A new bridge with a shared path for pedestrians and cyclists. And I want to credit your governors, and I mean it sincerely, your state legislature, for coming up with the matching money to invest in this bridge. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gotten done with your own funding. This investment is going to make a huge difference. Less traffic, fewer car accidents, faster commutes to your jobs and schools, quicker response times from fire trucks and first responders when every minute counts. Goods are going to get shipped quicker, and commerce will flow more freely instead of having to detour for up to 10 miles. Here's what else it means.
Continue to
It
be
means
struck
that
in the
10,000 new
politics.
construction jobs,
Let's
union
us
jobs, are going to be created. We're investing in America.
We cannot
In jobs for American workers, built with American products.
economic equation that
And
only
that's going
favors
to
those
help your
who've already
congressional
got it made.
delegation, especially Senator Tammy
Everybody
Baldwin. We're making
deserves
sure that
shot
iron, that steel, that construction material to build this bridge is made in America.
Duty and history.
And this funding is part of a larger $5 billion investment led by the Department of
will.
Transportation for 37 major
easy.
projects across America,
be easy.
including bridges,
Our
highways,
divisions
ports,
today are
airports.
long-standing.
To date,
Economic
40,000
and racial
infrastructure
inequities
problems
have shaped us for
projects have been
generations.
announced all across
But I
America.
give you my
And with the
word.
support of these
I
great
give
governors
you
and
my
congressional
word.
delegations,
If I'm elected
we're
president, I
doing
will marshal
other big things. For example,
the
we're making sure every
ingenuity and
American,
goodwill of
including
this
all of you
nation
here,
to turn
have access
division
to
into unity
affordable high-speed
and
internet.
brings together the differences people are looking for. We can disagree
I
about
want to thank
how
Amy
we
for her
move
leadership in this
forward.
issue.
We must
She's
take
been
the
relentless.
first step. It starts with how we treat
High-speed internet is essential to
talk to
today's
one
economy. It's as essential as
How we
electricity was
respect
when
one
Franklin Roosevelt was president. Not a joke.
In the second inaugural,
That's why nearly
Lincoln said,
a century ago, Franklin Roosevelt
"Malice
signed the
toward
Rural
none.
Electrification Act.
with charity for
I know
all,
this sounds like it
with
doesn't
firmness and the
matter,
right
but it matters a
God
great
gives
deal.
us to see the
He
right.
signed it to bring electricity
Let us
to nearly every
strive
home and farm in
on
America
to finish
because it
the
became
work we're in
essential,
to
an
build
essential
up
part
the
of the
nation's
economic
wounds.
growth of the country,
Bind up the nation's
an
wounds.
essential way to access to
Now we
modern
have
life.
our work
And
to
so
unite
is
America,
high-speed internet
to
today.
bind up our nation's wounds,
Wisconsin and
move
Minnesota,
past
we're investing
shadow and suspicion.
$2.5 billion,
And so we,
$2.5
you and
billion
I, together,
in high-speed internet.
we press on.
And we're going to
even
save,
after hearing the second inaugural
we're going to save
address,
more than 600,000
Frederick Douglass
families
told
in these two
President
states up to
Lincoln,
$30 a
Mr.
month in
Lincoln,
internet bills.
that
The
is
household
a
I
sacred
came
effort.
from, that matters. Those $30 at
We
the
have
end
to
of the
be
month bills
dedicated
will add
to our
up
own
when
sacred
you're living
effort.
on a fixed salary. We're also
Promise of
investing
Gettysburg
$1.1
and the new
billion
birth
in
of
your
freedom
state to provide clean
was
water
at hand.
and replace poisonous lead
It's
pipes.
a close.
Every lead pipe's going to be
Generations
taken out.
followed Gettysburg,
You turn on your faucet and drink clean water without getting sick.
whether it will
You know, a
allow
recent
the
study shows that
sacrifices
reducing
made
lead
here
exposure for
be
children
in vain.
has the same
be
effect
fulfilled.
on a student's test
This is
scores
our moment
as reducing the size of a
Answer this
class they're
essential
in
American
from
question
22 to
for
15.
ourselves and for our time.
1/10 the cost.
And my answer is this.
It matters. It affects the ability of the brain
It
to
cannot
function.
be that after all
That's
this
why we're
country
going to
has been
eliminate
through,
every single lead pipe in
all that
America, and I
America's
promise you
accomplished,
that. We
after
got the
all
money to do
years
it.
we have stood as a beacon of light to the world. It cannot be that here and
And that's
now
on
in
top of another $1 billion to clean up the
we
Great
will
Lakes,
allow
to
the
provide
government
drinking water for
of the people,
20 million people. 20 million people. And by the way, it used to make
must not.
beer brewed here.
We have in our hands the ultimate power. The power to vote. It's the noblest instrument ever devised to register our will in a peaceable.
What we're doing in Wisconsin and Minnesota is just one piece of a much bigger story. Look,
we must vote.
14 million new jobs since I became president. No matter how many. 169 new jobs in Wisconsin. 200,000 in Minnesota. Nearly 800,000 new manufacturing jobs nationwide. Good paying jobs.
Fighting for.
And employment has been lowest, been below 4% for the longest stretch in 50 years.
As one nation.
And it's even lower in Wisconsin and Minnesota, where it stands at 3.3 and 2.9% respectively.
Justice and inequality.
That's our economic plan.
And fear.
Invest in America. Invest in American products. Build in America.
We love each
That's
other.
what we call Bidenomics.
We love our country.
My professor.
We will not destroy.
Yeah, well,
but
I
we'll
won't get
build.
my professor.
We owe it to the dead.
Well, look,
who were
my
buried here in
predecessor,
Gettysburg.
he chose a different
We owe
course.
that to the living.
Trickle-down
The
economics.
future generations yet
Cut
to be
taxes
born.
for the very wealthy and big corporations.
You and I are part
Increasing
of a
the
covenant.
deficit significantly.
Common story.
That's exactly what
Divisions overcome.
That's exactly what
and
happened.
hope renewed.
And the
If
fact
we do
is,
our
well, I
part,
won't get into it.
if we stand
I won't get
together, if
going.
we keep faith with the past,
He
and
stripped
with each
good
other,
paying jobs and shipped them
then
overseas.
divisions our
Why?
time
Cheaper
will give
labor.
way to the
Rather than
dreams
pay you a
of
fair
brighter,
wage,
better
ship it
future.
overseas.
This is
Lower
our
wage costs and then import
is
the
our
products.
This is
Denying
our
Americans
mission.
jobs.
We
He
can
shrank
end
public
the spirit of
investment in
division.
infrastructure and
We can
education.
end the hate and the fear.
And then in the process, he hollowed
can
out
be what
communities,
we are
cling
at our
factories,
best.
leaving too many Americans
United
behind. Look,
States of America.
I grew up in neighborhoods, and
God
many
bless
of you
you all,
did,
and may God
in
protect
regions
our
where
troops.
they had that factory
Thank you.
that maybe it only employed
We can do
600
this.
people or 800 people, but it was the heartbeat of the community. And all of a sudden, one day, a corporation owner decided it was cheaper to send that factory overseas because the labor was cheaper. So sent to close the factory, send it overseas, imported the product from overseas, paid more money for it, and they didn't have to pay as much in labor. That's what happened. That's how we began to hollow out American labor, for real, not a joke. You know, anyway, he talked about infrastructure every week for 4 years. He's going to increase the infrastructure week. Well, we have infrastructure year. He didn't get, on my watch, instead of infrastructure week, America's having an infrastructure decade. Yeah. We're rebuilding factories and jobs are coming back to America. For example, you know, when we, you know, that little computer chip that everybody needs for everything from your watch to your automobile. Well, guess what? We invented them. We made them more sophisticated. We used to have 40% of the market, and all of a sudden we have nothing. You know that, and so guess what? I got in a plane and went to South Korea. My staff went, what the hell I was doing? I talked to the leader of South Korea. I said, you have a thing called Samsung. You make a lot of these computer chips. Come to America. Well, not only they, but a total of $50 billion is coming to America, building factories in America. In America. There's a place just outside of Columbus, Ohio. It's called the Field of Dreams. They're building two of these fabs, they call it, factories. They're like gigantic football fields. And guess what? They hire a whole hell of a lot of people. Not only building the facility, but working there. You know what the average salary is? $110,000 a year, and you don't need a college degree to have the job. The Midwest is coming back. And these senators right in front of you here, they delivered. Amy delivered. Tammy delivered. Tina delivered. I mean it sincerely. And you, the American people, support it. Now, I work with some Republicans to get the bipartisan law done. And they got done. But I'm sorry to say the vast majority voted against it. But you know what? That's okay. Because we're building projects everywhere, no matter whether they voted for it or not. I promise to be a president for all Americans, whether you voted for me or didn't vote for me. Folks, we have more work to do. For example, does anyone think that the tax code in America is fair? Raise your hand if you think the tax code is fair. In 2020, 55 of the Fortune 500 corporations paid zero in taxes. Zero in taxes. You may have heard me harp on this for a while.
Tonight I reflect on their
Federal taxes on $40 billion in profit. They paid 0 cents. Not anymore. What I was able to do is provide for funding all these programs by signing getting past the tax of just 15%. You pay more than that. Just getting up to 15%. 15% tax on these 50 corporations, making $40 billion. And guess what? As a consequence, we could pay for so many of these investments for making a low-class America without the deficit. And we still brought the deficit down by $7 billion. Look, we have to do more. One of the other things that I want to mention.
But while I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last.
For my entire career, I have been going after pharmaceutical corporations.
Because
pharmaceutical corporations in America are the best in the world. They make the best product. Whatever prescription you may be taking now, if I take that prescription for you, and fly to Toronto, Canada, London, England, Brazil, anywhere in the world, I will get that prescription by the same company filled for anywhere from 1/3 to 1/2 the cost.
That others may not.
We get charged more than any other country in the world. Not a joke.
But know that
you pay for it, not only in your prescription, but you pay for it because Medicare pays for a great deal of it. So I've been pushing to let Medicare negotiate and say what they do. Well, with the help of your Senate and Congress congressional delegation, I finally won. And guess what? Any of you, I'm not asking you to raise your hand, but you know anybody who has a problem with diabetes, needs insulin? Well, it used to be the average cost of that insulin shot on a monthly basis was closer to $400. Now they cannot charge more than $35. And by the way, they're still making 350% profit. It costs $10 to make it. $10 to make it. The guy who invented it didn't even want a patent on it because he thought it should be available to everyone. I can take you down the list. And beginning in 2025, guess what else happens? Anybody, if you know, have parents or grandparents who are taking a cancer drug, they may be paying anywhere from $6,000 to $13,000 a month for that drug. They can't do it. And guess what? No senior is going to have to pay, no matter how many drugs they have to take, more than $2,000 a month, period. Period. And they're still going to make money. They're still going to make money.
A commander-in-chief
folks,
who will respect our
I was told that's an awful thing to do, man. It's a terrible thing to do.
President for all
Guess what? Not
Americans.
only is it saving the individual money, it means you as taxpayers are paying billions of dollars less per month because you don't have to spend that money on Medicaid. You don't have to spend that money on Medicaid because it's a fair price. We get look. We now have. We used to, before the recession, before the pandemic.
On July 4th,
we had about 700 billionaires in America. There are 1,000 billionaires now. You know what their average tax rate is?
Of perhaps
8%.
The most consequential battle.
Raise your hand if you want to trade your tax rate now for 8%. No, I'm not joking. I'm being deadly earnest. It sounds like I'm making this up. 8% what they pay. That's why I proposed a billionaire minimum tax of 25%. That's not even the top rate.
Over 3 days of fighting. When the sun rose on that Independence Day,
if billionaires and big corporations pay even close to their fair share, we could strengthen Social Security, Medicare, bring down the cost of child care, elder care, working class and middle class people would all be better off, and it wouldn't cost a penny because they make $40 billion.
Slavery would be abolished.
And it's not. I mean, it's just basic fairness.
For the people would not
it's the right thing to do, and we can get this done. And I'll be damned in the last year of this administration, I'm going to get it done. Let me close with this. I'm going on too long. I get a little tied up here.
Talk about cost of division.
This bridge is important.
About how much it
but the story we're writing is much bigger than that.
About how much it is costing
when you see the shovels in the ground and cranes in the sky, and people hard at work in these projects, I hope you feel a renewed sense of pride.
For President Lincoln,
pride in your community,
The Civil
Pride in
War
what
was
we can
about
do. Pride in
greatest of
America.
causes.
Pride
end
knowing
of
we can
slavery,
get big things done still
widening
together in
equality,
America.
Pursuit of
We're the
justice,
only country in the world
creation of
that's come out of
opportunity,
every crisis
the
we've gotten
sanctity
into
of freedom.
stronger than we went in.
His words
Not a joke.
would
The
live
only country in the world.
ever after.
For God's sake, this is the United
We hear
States
them
of
in our
America.
heads, we
United
know them in
States
our
of America.
hearts. We draw on them.
And the
when
real
we seek
heroes in
hope
this whole story,
in hours of
the American
darkness.
people are starting to speak up.
American
American workers,
7 years ago,
American people
our
doing the
fathers
work to
brought
bring
forth
communities
on this
back
continent
to their country
a new
in
nation
ways that was before in
conceived
the
in
future.
liberty.
That's
and
what America
dedicated
does.
to the proposition
That's why I've been
that
never more
all
optimistic about
men
the
are
future.
created equal.
You just remember who in
Here,
God's name are. We're the
on
United
this
States of
sacred
America.
ground,
And there's nothing,
Abraham Lincoln
nothing beyond our
reimagined
capacity when we do it
American
together.
self.
Let's start working together
Here,
for God's
President of
sake.
the United
God
States,
bless you all. May God
the
protect you.
price of division,
Thank you.
ferocious division, but of widespread death, structural inequity, and fear of the future. And he taught us this: a house divided could not stand. That is a great and timeless truth. Today, once again, we are a house divided. But that, my friends, can no longer be. We are facing too many crises. We have too much work to do. We have too bright a future to have it shipwrecked on the shoals of anger and hate.